Hey guys, this is Tauna. Today we have all the exciting announcements from MagicCon Chicago. So this is going to be information about Bloomburrow, first looks at cards as well for Bloomburrow, Outlaws at Thunder Junction, and Assassin's Creed. So I'm going to start with Bloomburrow. I'm basically going in, the order that they announced them and everything like that. So Bloomburrow is inspired by woodland-focused fantasy. So I think a lot of people called it like Redwall. It reminds me of like Fern Tree Gully, that kind of stuff, with brave woodland creatures venturing out into the dangerous wider world. So these are all our heroes here. Some kind of art that they've got. So this is 3 Tree City. We've got Repel Calamity, and then this part here. So these are the threats to Bloomburrow. They're elemental calamity beasts, which are predators of the world. Maha, which is this one here, the owl, is one of the beasts, and they have been on a rampage. Glab is the king of the frog folk and a powerful wizard who might have insights into what's going on with the calamity beast. So and then Mabel is the heir to Cragflame. She's like the main protagonist. She's the mother of 3 mouselings and the heir to a storied sword, the Cragflame. So this sword she's got is a Cragflame. I love that they've chosen like a mother to be the protagonist instead of like, usually it's like the little kid who's the princess and stuff like that. Like this chick has people to fight for. So these are her friends who are going to join her. We've got Gev, we've got Hugs, we've got Phineas, and then we've got Zoraline. They're colorful and equally cute characters who are accompanying her on this adventure. And then this one's interesting. You might notice who this is. This is Ral. So there's going to be a fan favorite characters that are joining, but not in forms you might recognize. So keep in mind that this is canon set. So, and they didn't say anything about these characters being like, like just a bonus sheet or something along those lines, like anime art only or anything like that. So it's going to be very interesting to see how they work them into the storyline. So this is our first look at Mabel. So there's basically what they're saying here is that she's a mouse and that Bloomburrow is a very kindred focused set with a number of animal folk creature types. So she is a mouse soldier. She buffs up all your other mice. And then when she enters the battlefield, you get to create Cragflame, which is a legendary colorless artifact. Equipment that gives equipped creature +1/+1 vigilance, trample, and haste, and equip 2. Technically, you don't even need to equip that onto Mabel. You likely want to. Mabel's likely to be a commander or something like that, or something cool. And then there's a whole bunch of different arts. So we've got like showcase woodland arts. We've got borderless raised anime art. There's a lot of really cool stuff here. All right, so this is Lumra, one of the other characters you're going to be able to see in there. They also said this is the new bear commander, which is interesting. So these smaller creatures are the normal size on Bloomburrow, which means that animals like Lumra are massive. So you've got like, there's art here of like the little rabbits running away. This is also done by the same artist from what I heard from the base set Charizard, which is insane. These ones are cool. They're kind of like the schematic arts from Brotherhood, except for Brothers War, except, for bears and the calamity beasts and stuff like that. It's really, really cool. All right. Then we've got like different seasonal arts, seasonal basics too. So they're full art basics that are based on the seasons. So you can see, go from summer to winter kind of thing. They're really cool too. And then they showed this as well. Fox Jace. Why is Jace a fox? Anyway, we've got Assassin's Creed next. So we've got a whole bunch of the art here. And I love this. Oh my God, this is like amazing. Assassin's Creed Black Flag was one of my favorite games of all time, so I'm really glad with that one. So I've got the Animus, which lets you exile a target legendary creature from a graveyard with a memory counter on it. Apologies about my son in the background. And then when you tap it, a target legendary creature you control can become a copy of them with a, which is really cool. This is really cool. It's a really interesting way to like put the Animus into the game. We've got Hidden Blade, which is going to be a buy a box promo. When it enters the battlefield, you attach it to a target creature you control. If it's an assassin, it gets Death Touch. It gives them +1 and first strike. Altair, Makes it so you can exile up to one target assassin creature from the graveyard with a memory counter. Oh, that's actually interesting because this does memory counter stuff as well. So technically, if you exile something with an assassin with Altair, then you could technically cast it with the other one. Then for each creature card you own in exile with a memory counter on it, create a tapped and attacking token that's a copy of it. And then exile those cards at the end of combat. Oh, that's every time he attacks too. Oh. So you can work up like this big like sideboard of all your assassins. And then whenever Altair attacks, you're going to bring them all back in. That's really cool. And then we've got Ezio, who gives all your assassins free running. I don't know what free running does. And then Menace. And then whenever Ezio deals combat damage to a player, you may pay everything if that player has 10 or less life. When you do, that player loses the game. That's very cool. All right, we've got some reprints as well in here. For thematics, we've got Leonardo, who buffs up all your Thopters and creates Thopters. We've got Cleopatra, who does stuff with +1/+1s, and then also with legendaries. We've got an Ezio. So this Ezio is a part of a scene. So assumedly, you know, there's going to be other stuff down below. And then it's also going to be a new starter set with Ezio and Eivor here, which is going to be really cool too. We've got a Haystack, which gives target creature you control phases out by tapping it. And then that's all the different products there. So that's going to be the Beyond boosters. We've talked about that previously. There's obviously going to be collector boosters too, the starter kit, and then like a bundle too, which is really cool. We've got Modern Horizons 3. So Modern Horizons 3 will feature double face cards. And not just any of them. We're going to bring back a cycle of cards, which shows the transformation of cards into characters into Planeswalkers. So they talked about... Ajani, so this is the face version of Ajani. This is the back version of Ajani after his brother is killed, I believe. And then Tamio as well. So it's a way for them to bring back characters that, you know, can't exist in the lore at the moment because they're dead or they're not here or they're not Planeswalkers, etc. And then, you know, show them being like, you know, back kind of thing. There's got full art Eldrazi lands, which are really, really cool. I actually love the island one the most. I think the island one's the best. And then they're going to also bring into the game enemy fetch lands. So like the Bloodstained Mia here. Maya? I don't know. Windswept Heath. We've got Flooded Strand, the Polluted Delta, Wooded Foothills. So this is the Ajani. So on the face, it's creating white cat warrior tokens. And then whenever one or more cats you control die, you can exile it and then transform it into this Ajani, which is such a great card for like a Rin and Seri deck because it's going to put +1/+1s onto each cat. But this part here relies on you having red permanents, which, you know, you're more reliant on having the red from Rin and Seri, like the dogs and stuff like that for it. And then you get to make people sacrifice a artifact, creature, enchantment, and planeswalker. They have to sacrifice all of those. Oh no, sorry. They get to choose though one of each of those and then sacrifice all the rest of them, which is really cool. We've got Scurry of Gremlins. They're actually bringing back the energy, which is really cool because energy is currently coming out in the Fallout set. So this is going to be able to synergize well with that basically because, you know, the Fallout set's Jexai, red, white, blue, and this is like, you know, this is red, white here. So they're going to bring into the game more energy, which is really cool. We've got It That Herald. This is actually interesting because this reminds me of the way the Doctor Who set brought in detectives and then the next set brought detectives like into a big thing. So this is like really cool. It That Heralds the Dead. So they're bringing back colorless mana. It That Heralds the End. Bring back colorless mana and stuff. And then Emrakul. Whenever you cast this spell, gain control of all creatures target opponent controls. Flying, protection from spells and from permanents that were cast this turn. And then whenever Emrakul leaves the battlefield, sacrifice all creatures you control, as well as Madness, pay 6 colorless. And then we've got 5 different versions of Emrakul. This is getting a bit crazy. I guess they're going to be mostly collector boosters stuff. Like I assume this one and this one are going to be in the normal one, maybe the retro frame, and then the rest in collector boosters. We've got Psychic Frog. So this is going to be a homage to the World Championship winning creature from an old extended. We're bringing this updated powerhouse to modern. We've got Psychic Frog, 3 different Psychic Frogs. And then they're going to do a new cycle of free spells. So these are free if you sacrifice a non-token creature of whatever color it is, rather than pay this spell's mana cost. So this one here is essentially a really good, look for lands kind of thing, tutor for lands. But there's going to be other ones as well. And then we've got a reprint of Priest of Tiana, reprint of Layla, and then we've got Outlaws of Thunder Junction. This is the one I'm most excited for. So we've got the Western Landscape basics, but in them you can actually see, like in the negative, the symbol of whatever it is. So like you can see the plains, you've got the cloud, you've got the dewdrop from the island, etc., etc. I think the best version of it is the forest over there. Definitely. All right. Then we've got Oko. So we've got 3 different versions of him. We've got the main set, we've got Wanted Poster, and then we've got Borderless. So he's going to make it so you draw cards, and then if you've committed a crime, you get to do something. If you haven't, so if you've committed a crime, you only need to discard 1 card. And then you get to create Green Elks, and then for each other non-land permanent you control, create a token that's a copy of that permanent. And then at the beginning of turn, he's going to turn into a copy of a 1 target creature you control until end of turn, except he has hexproof. So this is pretty cool. I love the Wanted Poster versions. These are very cool. They're borderless ones though, are stellar. So this is basically how you commit crimes, is any spell or ability that targets an opponent or their stuff. So if you're targeting their spells, their permanent, their hand, their library, their graveyard, that's you committing a crime. So something like this, where you target a creature, that's going to commit a crime, which enables you to be able to activate Oko's +1 at you only need to discard 1 card. We've got Tiny Bones coming back as well with another Wanted Poster one, as well as a normal version. Whenever he deals combat damage to a player, you may cast target non-land permanent from that player's graveyard. This is going to go into my thieving deck. We've got the rest of Oko's gang here. So we've got a Callan the Kid, we've got up here Vraska, we've got Annie Flash, who's a new character based on the Navajo, and then over here we've got Rakdos the Muscle. I'll be very interested to see how Rakdos goes and how he got there and what people think about it, because looking at this Rakdos, it is very different to the existing Rakdoses. But then again, the existing Rakdos is like cooped up on Ravnica and isn't allowed to go, destroy everything, while, if he comes over here, then Oko can be like, here, go. And Callan finally found his dad, so this is the ending of Callan's storyline, so that's going to be cool to see as well. So we've got the 2 bonus sheets. So there's 2 different bonus sheets. The first one is cards that are committing a crime. So Thoughtseize, for example, is you committing a crime. And then over here, Crime commits a crime as well, which is freaking hilarious. And then we've got the second one, which is going to be cards from the Vault. So this is originally going to be the epilogue, but they've changed it into like being a part of the list essentially. And these are things that essentially Oko was going to be stealing when they went into the Vault, which was their big score. So the epilogue set is called the Big Score. You can see down here, BIG. They're essentially the cards that everyone's kind of after and stuff. I believe these ones are going to be legal in Standard, and these ones are legal in wherever the original version of it came from. So then we've also got Nexus of Becoming, which is a part of the Vault 2, which looks really bonkers. You can exile a artifact or creature from your hand, and if you do, you get to create a golem that is a version of that. Very big ramp. And then we've got Flip, who managed to somehow get over to Outlaws Junction. The interesting part of this is plot. So the top card of your library has plot. The plot cost is equal to its mana cost. You may plot non-land cards from the top of your library. So what I'm thinking this is, if you've played like some of the more like recent card games, instead of having like lands or manas or stuff like that in their card, they've got like, you know, a card and then you can play it face down and it is a land. That's what I'm thinking it's going to be. Kind of like, you know, disguise but for lands, and they don't flip back. So it's like, you know, you can turn your spells into lands essentially. So it's a way to be able to mana fix yourself potentially. I'm not sure. That's just my prediction there. Who knows? Let me know down in the comments what you guys think of plot. That's it for today, guys. Have a great day and goodbye.